Boom, boom, boom. Welcome to episode 174 of the Crafty Boys. Welcome. We're almost at 200. Boy, guys, we're doing good. How's it going?
Fantastic.
Way to jump in, guys. Thanks so much.
How are you? How are you, Shane?
I'm
Nobody
doing
ever
well.
asks how you're doing. How are you doing, Shane?
To be honest, I'm feeling pretty good, except for the fact that I have somehow in the past like 3 or 4 days have gone back to my teen years, and I got these two bastards. Like out of nowhere. Two zits pop out of nowhere. I'm like, what the hell?
That's fantastic. It's
So
like you're going back
maybe
in time.
my age is reversing because
maybe,
you know, to be honest, today is the day that I kind of think that my age might be reversing because I began my day acting like a 12-year-old boy because Ghostbusters 3 was announced as actually a thing. So have you seen the trailer?
I did not see the teaser, no.
So the teaser trailer, apparently it was very hush-hush from what I've read so far because no one apparently saw this coming. And apparently it's already started some filming and stuff, and it's like way down. It's actually down the production line. And
coming out next year.
It's coming out the summer of 2020, and apparently it is. It looks like they're ignoring the previous film, and it looks like they have called it Ghostbusters 3. So I assume that the previous film, which I only saw half of, it wasn't that good of a film in my opinion. But hey, I was for the rest of the day, I was kind of a little upbeat about I was going to get a movie. Although, granted, it would have been nice if they if Harold Ramis was still around and if they had done it earlier.
The power of computer generated graphics, right?
That is true. That could be a thing. You never know.
Yes.
Although I hope not.
Well, I hope not as well, because quite honestly, they can tell a story when when actors have passed on or don't want to do the role. You easily could go and write a story explaining why they're not around.
Yes. I bet you it starts off at Egon's funeral. They're all going to be there. It's going to be they're going to be getting back together. It's going to be like a Ghostbuster reunion kind of deal. And
I like it.
My hope is Rick Moranis comes back to do his role. Who picked the beer this week?
You did.
Did I? Oh,
yeah.
There you go. I only have 3 beers that we might have had. So this week we are returning to the brewery known as Twa Dogs, and we are doing the chili chocolate milk stout.
Now, I'm gonna say before we open this that we sometimes do beers that we look at the name of it and we're like, really? And
why are we drinking this? It's beer. How dare we drink it?
This is one of those beers where we're going in with maybe low expectations, and we could maybe be surprised, like we were with Uncle Nutty or the Nutty Uncle or whatever from Dead Frog.
The
peanut butter
barley
stout.
Malt wine thing or whatever it was called.
It was just a peanut butter stout.
Peanut butter stout. So yes, okay. So I am game for starting this up. So I'm gonna pop my top here. Why? Oh, and there goes the bottle cap onto the floor. Now, it smells like beer. It smells like a stout. Now, Dave, this should be right up your alley because you're like a milk stout fiend. And we know that you are psychotic. So there you go.
It smells good. To point out that my label is different.
Whoa, what? I'm holding up mine. What does yours look like?
Right. So
say some words, Dave.
Well, actually, you know what? Mine, it's probably impossible to read the damn band there, but it says limited edition.
So Dave,
so basically, we got substandard beer. Is myself and
I think Dave got last year's.
It's been aging for a whole year.
Nice.
You know what's really funny about that is yesterday, Allison likes this trading site that she uses quite a bit, and she trades a lot of stuff around and things that we don't want and stuff. You know, she actually just noticed yesterday that somebody was giving away a bunch of Bomber bottle beer. One was the barley wine we had, the Old Cellar Dweller from 2015 and 2016. So she's finding out what they want for it. So I'm kind of happy with that.
Ooh.
Check this out. I mean, look at that head. I mean, it's like
this is a dark
brown
beer. Like this is
like it doesn't get any darker.
No, I don't think you can get any darker.
I cannot see through this.
I cannot see through it either. This is like this is a singularity in a glass. That's how dark it is. And it is smooth.
It smells really good.
It is.
It is.
It smells really good. Okay, so
it's like drinking beer off a baby's bottom.
The chocolate really comes like not like a chocolate, like a milk chocolate, like that you get in some other ones. This is a little more like a cocoa kind of, you know, a dark chocolate kind of flavor, which I have not experienced in a beer like this before.
You heard it here first. We have found the milk chocolate stout perfection. All other organizations should stop brewing immediately. For your Twa Dogs. For Twa Dogs has made it impossible for anyone to make a good beer again. Now, the one thing I will point out is that the chili, which on the bottle and on their website doesn't really talk about it. I'm trying to find it. Just says lingering heat, but I don't see anywhere a reference to the actual
no.
I don't know. No. I'm a little surprised. But it does linger. I mean, they are correct. It is. Once you've had it, it takes about a good 30 seconds, but that's when you start to notice it. And now I'm really noticing it. So
well, it's there, and I notice it, but it's doesn't have as big of a punch as I thought it would. It actually complements the chocolate quite nicely, which I wasn't expecting. This is a nice beer. I'm actually really enjoying this. I am not big on spicy beers. I don't like them. This I would get again.
I would get it again, and not to mention the beer that was in the store when I took photos of it over the weekend is almost all gone. Because I went back to get the chili one yesterday and realized that the 3 or 4 beers that I actually took photographs to show you guys what was in the store are pretty much like toast. Right. So I was very sad about that because some of them I thought we could do in the next little while, but of course you guys are having trouble finding them, and it's not as superior as Vancouverites like myself.
Yeah. Dave, what do you think?
I am digging this. Pleasantly surprised. Pleasantly surprised. Yeah. What I was worried about was that it was going to be, because here's the thing. I was remembering Shane's reaction last week, and the way he was describing the beer, it was bordering on tonsil punching territory. So I'm not into that level of spice. It doesn't matter where it is. I'm just not into it. My guts can't handle it. So I was kind of worried that that's what this was going to be. But it's a very nice level of spice. You do want to kind of take it easy if you're not a spice guy, because it does build, doesn't it?
Mine is definitely building. Like I can tell a little bit. Like last week it was the what was the one that we had? The salted chocolate porter from Steamworks. And it was good. I mean, it was shocking. I don't know why I'm thinking it was that shocking, but still I feel like, it was not expected. As you were pointing out earlier, Alan, that sometimes, we are drinking beer and we're kind of like, I don't know. We're gonna take one for the team here. Drink this beer just for you guys, and we'll, and then we're like, oh, actually, this is not bad. You shouldn't drink it. Save more for me.
And I'll be honest with you here. I saw this beer last year when it was out, and I don't mind Twa Dogs. They're having a little bit of a build up to build a decent enough following here, and their brewery is actually fairly close to where I live. But I saw this. I thought chili chocolate milk stout. No, not my thing. No, I'm digging this. I'd pick this up again. In fact, one of these days, maybe I'll walk up to the brewery and fill a growler or something.
Oh yeah, because this is the one of the Caledonia brewery, right?
That's right. It's the Caledonia.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, distillery and all that.
Yeah, which is actually quite cool because they're not far. They're sort of between my parents' house and your place. So yeah, it's a good place to go. I haven't been there since they opened though, because it's been a while. So, yeah, you were gonna say, Dave. Sorry.
It's all good. I have a little bit of a story actually about getting this one.
All right, let's hear it.
Get it this morning. I looked around as I usually do, and the nice gentleman at the store came over and said, "Can I help you look for something?" Because I was, wandering and looking. And so I told him, yeah, this is what I need. So we're having a bit of a look. He's looking where stuff should be, and he tells me, "Nope, sorry, we got nothing." And so I'm like, oh, shit. Okay, well, look around a bit, thinking of getting the Raven, because that was the other one. And he actually pointed me, unfortunately, I don't remember it, but he pointed me at another chili chocolate type. It was a bomber, but it was a U.S. brewer.
From who? Oh, sorry. Right. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. I don't remember. I should have taken a picture of the bottle just for shits and giggles, but I did not. So about a minute later, we're like, okay, thanks for having a look for me, blah, blah, blah. And one of his coworkers comes over and she's got a case of something. And it is this frickin' beer.
No way.
Shit you not. The beer gods, gentlemen, smiled on us this day. Yeah. Somehow it's appropriate because it's Twa Dogs.
No, that's awesome. I'm surprised you got the limited edition, which, as Alan pointed out, might be last year's.
Well, if they just got a crate today, it won't be last year's.
Oh, it just arrived. I was expecting they were like, oh, we're back. Oh, guess what? Under all the dead corpses of all the ex-employees we've had to kill. That's where the case was. Sorry.
No, yeah.
That's where you keep all cases of beer, like underneath corpses of your former employees. That's what I'm told. So that's what I heard.
I'm curious then, Dave, is there some sort of aside from it saying special edition on it, is there some other kind of explanation on it for why it's a special edition?
Well, let's have a look at the back label here. This is my back label, by the way. That's what I get. So it's got this cool little map.
Yeah, ours is pretty much identical.
Looks the same. So let's see here. Born on the wings of adventure, our limited edition Brewer Special range satisfies the inner cravings of our much-loved brew team. Is that how your guys' label starts?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
Ours says, delicious and smooth. Our milk stout is brewed with Ecuadorian cacao nibs and lactose, giving a rich velvet finish. Chilies are added twice during the process to establish a cumulative lingering heat. Under this complexity, our brewers use roasted malts and plenty of oats for our base stout. Well balanced and dark.
Huh. That's
it's funny because the writing on the label on the front looks like the old Twa Dog labels before they kind of redesigned them recently.
Weird.
Weird. But you know what? It doesn't matter because the beer's good, right?
The beer is good. I'm liking the very subtle, not overpowering spice. Unlike, again, I bring up that beer that we had when I guess over the holidays, which I can't remember the name of, but essentially it tried to kill anyone who drank it. So, that's not something that you really want to experience on a regular basis. Actually, I sent you guys some links about beer stuff, but here's actually something I've actually just thought of this just now. I want you guys to give me your that too, because the word integrity is something that I think is important to talk about. Because and then let me give you a reason why. There's this podcasting community of which we are members. There's a little project. We get a badge as well as $5, but it's those little $5 coins though that have chocolate inside.
Nice.
There's a project called the Seed Project, where essentially there's a word given out over a particular period of time for about 6-7 days, a week, roughly. And podcasts are able to go out there and actually just talk about different things. And the keyword for this particular week is the word integrity. And it doesn't matter how we talk about it. It doesn't matter. There's no rules. But I thought actually, because I've sent you off all these links, and I thought, wait a second, there's something I kind of think is important. I think we should just, rap on? No, not rap about. Chat about. And basically, what do you guys think when you hear the word integrity? What is sort of the stuff that pops to your mind?
Makes me want to puke.
All right, there you go. Makes me want to puke. Alan,
I'm so kidding.
Integrity is just kind of like, holding yourself to account.
Okay. Well, what's your real answer, Dave? Thanks for jumping in, Dave. So anyway, I don't know. I
thought you were directing that at Alan.
Yes, I always address Alan as Dave.
Oh, I missed. Sorry, I missed the name part. What is my real answer? Yeah, it is holding yourself to account. It's holding yourself to a certain standard, I would say. I don't know. I guess it's about how are you going to act doing what it is you're doing. Whatever it is you're doing, are you doing it with integrity? And I guess it kind of shifts a bit depending on what it is you're doing, right? But it is still a certain standard. Basically it's kind of golden rule stuff, and treating if you happen to be a podcaster, are you treating your audience well? Are you providing something that's cool? Are you being as honest as possible? All this kind of crap.
I like integrity, being an upstanding citizen with good moral character and all that kind of crap. Well, this is the thing, right? Like there's I think the instant assumption about the definition of integrity is that people automatically go to that sort of idea of being a moral upstanding individual, blah, 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 blah. But there's also the definition of the word where essentially it talks about being whole and undivided, where you are standing up for something that is either yourself or say a country or some sort of, I'm looking, I've got like 5 definitions of the word right now on my screen. And basically the thing I thought right away was that people are true to themselves. Like you're upstanding for yourself. Like you are an individual who is able to. I mean, in this particular podcast, we talk about all kinds of stuff, and I would say half the time we're just like, we're just kind of silly and ridiculous, which is exactly what we do, because that's exactly what we're here for. And then once in a while, we get into some serious topics and things like that, here and there. I still remember when Leonard Nimoy passed away, and we were talking about that for a while. So, so there's some things that we talk about. So I don't know. It's just a very interesting project. I think that, we as a group here, and Locke, whenever he's available. By the way, Locke, thank you for your comments about our last episode.
He watched
it. He watched a bit of it. Yeah, I got this email from Locke a few days ago of him saying, "Oh, I've watched this. I've listened to these things, and oh my God, school's dumb." So it was, just like, he's in the last semester in the States, boys. So he's going to be torn away from the beer mecca of Oregon. So, but I just thought it would be interesting for us to actually sort of talk about it, just a little bit, just to kind of say, hey, there's some things going on I think are really kind of cool, and who knows, maybe there'll be a word, I think, in a couple of weeks' time or something like that we can talk about. So, I mean, let's take that word now, the word of integrity, and actually move it into the beer world, because that's what we're here for. And is there any any brewery out there that we think has sort of half-assed it and phoned it in? Have any breweries out there actually poisoned anyone? I'm kind of curious now.
Not that I'm aware.
I doubt it. That's kind of a low bar. That's quite a low bar.
To say that there's any breweries out there that have, phoned it in or whatever, I don't know if that's really fair to those breweries necessarily. I'd rather point out ones who have excelled in integrity instead of gone the other way. And for that, I would look at, and it's not my favorite beer in the world, but I gotta dig their integrity, and that's Steam Whistle out of Ontario.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and why? Why are they higher up the rank for you?
They have, and they've actually talked about this a little bit, but they built a brand based around creating a very good Pilsner. The image of the vintageness, all their marketing is sort of looking very vintage. All of their delivery vehicles are restored vintage vehicles.
Oh, wow.
And they have, although they're big, I mean, they're sold across the country and are very popular. They refuse to sell out to larger corporations. They are going to keep it what they would call a microbrewery. They're going to keep it in-house and shun probably tens or hundreds of millions of dollars to sell to like Anheuser-Busch or InBev or whoever else, right? I think that's integrity.
Agreed.
I can see that. I can totally see that.
Yeah.
By the way, I did a search for beer poisoning while you were talking there, and I found a brewery located in Durban, South Africa, called Poison City Brewing. And so there's a beer that I would like to be able to try. They are far away, but I think we can pull it off. I think we can find it, because that would be kind of cool.
What kind of contacts have we got in South Africa?
I don't none, as far as I'm aware. A couple neighbors that are like a few doors down the hall from me just came back from South Africa. So, but there you go. So, their brews, by the way, speaking of poisoning, the first one I really like is the Punk Rocker, which is an English pale. And then they have a few other ones. There's a cannabis IPA, which I think should be interesting, and the cannabis lager. So there you go. If anyone can send us some Poison City beer, brewing beer. I know it's a long way to ship it, but please.
Right.
Now we have to set up a PO box.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of, I mean, in terms of breweries for integrity, I mean, I think that breweries that are constantly trying new things, I think, is definitely a form of integrity, because they are, they're not just sitting on their laurels. They're trying new things. They find stuff that they can make that people like, that they can make over and over again. But there's all the sorry, the peanut gallery just showed up. Here you go. It's a horrible, horrible beer. You're gonna hate it. There goes my integrity. I totally forgot what I was talking about. I got distracted there by the peanut gallery. Oh, right.
Integrity.
I just think that there's definitely, that they are moving forward. They're not just staying still, and they're always trying new stuff. So, and I think the bulk of breweries that we've actually talked about here on the show definitely are falling into that category. Probably because we're just kind of awesome that way, or we're just lucky. I'm looking at you, Swamp Ape.
Well, I think, especially in the craft beer industry here, if you either you have integrity or you fail, because it's a community, right? In the whole craft beer thing, although there's say two different craft breweries here, although they're separate and they're in competition with each other, they rely on each other. They need each other. And so there's this pushing everybody up, right? And in order to be a part of that, you have to have integrity. If you have no integrity, nobody's going to side with you. So it ultimately means failure, especially in the craft beer industry here in BC.
Well, I totally agree with that, because there's that real, the breweries are not, they're in competition for people drinking beer, but they also like to, they do cross promotion, they do collaborations, they do all kinds of cool stuff that I think pushes, as you said, everyone up. So good on them. I'm looking at you, Molson Canadian.
And from time to time, these companies literally give each other a helping hand. I can't remember exactly when this happened, but we talked about this where one of the breweries, you guys probably remember better than me, but they had to dump hundreds of liters, I believe, because something went wrong.
I think that was Persephone?
No, it was Four Winds. Four Winds had their fridge had failed.
Right.
Like their walk-in fridge had failed, and they lost, I think it was 4 pallets worth of beer. And the other breweries came to their aid and helped them out.
That's just cool.
Yeah.
On that note, I think we'll leave it there, because we can't top that. We can't top Four Winds having an issue and other breweries being like, dudes, we got you back, man. So and also we're a half hour in. So there we go. Thank you all out there for watching. We've had a few watches today, which is kind of nice on the live stream. Maybe we should open up the chat so that people can actually talk to us at the same time, but maybe next time.
I think so.
And Alan, as always, take us out.